Now what's up guys, and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today we're going to be checking out an airport, and this airport is actually quite an interesting airport. It was called the London City of the United States, and so we're just going to have a look at it, and what we can actually see from our first glance here is it is actually quite a densely populated area, as you can see from our amazing FSX scenery. So yeah, we're spawned in here at on the active runway, and why are our pilots so happy? So yeah, we're at San Jose International Airport in California, pretty much right next to San Francisco. So San Francisco is right over here, and this is where San Jose is, and it is actually situated right in the middle of the downtown area. So downtown San Jose is right here, and the airport is right here, which obviously as we can see, can make for a very interesting approach into the airport. So we're just gonna go ahead and take off our Delta ERJ 145 here. Which should not be a problem. Now, Delta does actually operate here, as does most U.S. airlines. So United, American, Delta, Southwest, all the normal United States airlines you can see at this airport. So let's just go ahead and rotate, which was not a problem. So what we're going to do is we can put ourselves on the approach for this airport, and what you'll be able to see is that it is quite a dangerous one. So if we were to do this kind of approach, we would obviously die. So it's a very, very high approach that is needed for this airport. So as you can see, this is the downtown San Jose area right here. And if we were able to clear all these buildings we can see here, we would have four white populites on our approach. So that is why it is just so risky to fly into this airport. There, I believe, actually have been some crashes at this airport just due to the high approach that is needed. So what you do is you have to barely clear these tops of these roofs, and you still have four white lights, which makes it overall very hard to get a plane landed here safely. And if you look at the window, you can see that this is all a very highly populated area, being on the outskirts of a major city like San Francisco. So it is very, very hard for pilots to land here safely, but we're going to go ahead and try and do that here in our ERJ 145. It should not be a problem to stop, but we're just going to go ahead and land here, and then maybe move on to some bigger planes as well. So here we go, and that was actually quite a good landing, bit of a bounce. But anyway, yeah, so let's go ahead and move on to some bigger planes. Alright, now here we are spawned in a plane, once again on the approach to San Jose, in a plane that is considerably larger than the ERJ 145 we were just in, and of course I am talking about the Airbus A321. Now we're going to go ahead and try to land this aircraft here as well, which once again should not be a problem. We just completed going over those very tall buildings on the approach, and now we are just going to try and do a landing. And once again, you can just see the immense population here that is situated just so close to the airport. So yeah.
100, 70, 60.
I guess we are just going to try and land this A321 here, which should not be a problem unless we continue to float this aircraft. But yeah, once again, not a problem. 217 feet per minute, not bad. Quite a late landing, but it's alright. So let's go ahead and try a bigger plane, perhaps a 747. Alright, now here I am again in a 747 this time. And we're going to see if actually the aircraft is even able to take off from this airport, because, well, this does not actually have the longest runway So we can go ahead and see if this aircraft is actually able to take off. Now, I do not have any good 747 add-ons, so we're going to have to just use the default one here. But yeah, let's just go ahead and see if the 747 can take off from San Jose here. And so far, it's looking like it might work. Yeah, it's looking like it'll work pretty well, but this is just such a massive plane, so taking off would be pretty difficult in real life for the 747, especially since it needs just such a long amount of space just to rotate and take off successfully. And you also might notice here that there are some buildings even right after takeoff if you take off from this runway. So there's really no safe way to navigate into this airport, especially from this side right here. And another thing that you might not have noticed is that this whole entire city of San Jose is situated within a valley. So the airport is within a city, and the city is within a valley. As you can see all around here, it is quite a difficult challenge for pilots to get into San Jose safely. So yeah, we're just going to see if the 747 can do it now as well. So once again, what's very hard for a plane like a 747 is the momentum gets so fast, especially on such a steep descent. So right now we are way too fast to be landing, but of course we're going to try anyway. Looks like we're going to touch down a bit early here as well, just to have that extra room to stop. Now, stopping the 747 is also quite a task, especially at such a small airport like this. Now, that was actually a pretty hard landing, but we just want to make sure that we stop this time. Minus 544 feet per minute. So not the worst landing, but definitely not the best either. And it looks like our 747 should be able to stop here, get the speed brakes out. Yeah, it looks like this is not a problem for the 747. But maybe we'll try an even bigger plane, perhaps the A380. Alright, now here I am in the A380, and to be honest, this is the first time that I've even used this add-on, so we can also do a bit of an add-on review here as well. So overall, the cockpit just looks like a standard Airbus default cockpit here, except with the 4 engine markings on that display here. But other than that, let's just go ahead and see how well the A380 can perform here. And we are in a Lufthansa A380, which should be interesting. I don't think Lufthansa actually flies to San Jose. They do probably fly to San Francisco, but I'm not so sure about San Jose. And if we can get our actual camera position toggle thing to move, then there we go. So let's make sure that we have our flaps out, and we can see if this is a safe plane to operate at San Jose. And right now it's looking pretty good. Now, to be honest, the plane would not actually start rolling until, they are actually on the designated part of the runway. We started from well before the threshold even, so we're just going to go ahead and try. And my stupid camera toggle is not working. But I believe we can probably go ahead and rotate, which we did there. And yeah, this seems to work very, very well. And I'm able to see out the front window. There we go. Now, yeah, that actually was not a problem for the A380. But will landing be the same story? We'll have to see. Now, like I said with the 747, the bigger aircraft like the A330 or the A380, the 747, or even some larger but not, or some even smaller but not small planes like the 777 or the A330 would probably still have trouble landing at this airport because you have to do such a steep descent here to even land. The bigger planes carry so much momentum and they accelerate way too fast. So I would assume that a heavy amount of speed brakes would need to be used while on this approach, just to make sure that the planes land at a safe landing speed. And these are honestly not the longest runways either, which also makes it very challenging for pilots to land here. This only looks about a couple thousand feet long, which is honestly not that long for a commercial airport, which San Jose is. But I guess when they built the airport, they had a limited space considering it is in the middle of a major city. So let's just go ahead and land this A380 and see how well we can do here. And this is actually looking pretty good. We're, of course, floating it now. But let's see. Ooh, that was actually a pretty good landing. Minus 311 feet per minute. And it doesn't look like stopping should be a problem either. Now, since this is, of course, an add-on, we cannot be totally sure of how realistic the stopping capabilities are. But it was not a problem here for this A380. Now, overall, what can we say about San Jose Airport? It is for sure an interesting airport, especially being situated in the middle of such a major city and right outside San Francisco as well. But it does indeed make for a challenge to fly into and to, of course, even navigate safely into and out of as well. So definitely the pilots that fly here are very skilled just because of how risky this approach is, almost as if, like I said at the beginning, it is the London City of the United States. Now, shout out to Captain Flightwings because this is his home airport. Make sure you check out his channel. He's on my channel homepage listed as a partner channel, so make sure you go subscribe to him. And thank you all so much for watching today's video. This is the first type of video like this, so let me know in the comments what you think. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again soon for a stream, and again tomorrow with another video. Thank you guys.